Note the disclaimer, and remember that everyone who supports me on Patreon got to see preview images, work-in-progress shots, and high-resolution images of the completed figure. If you want to join them, the link is right below. Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a commission for Anchoremi. It is Summer the Cat, seen here in two little outfit variants. Anchoremi wanted me to make the one on the left with the little dress. And hey Anchoremi, you actually kind of got the style down. I mean, take a look at it guys. Doesn't she just like totally just have the cankles and what's the wrist equivalent of a cankle? Where like, you know, your forearm just kind of turns into a hand without really having a definitive wrist. You know, because that's what Sonic characters have to look like given the way they're designed. And that's what they end up looking like when I had to modify their characters to not have socks or gloves, because that's just how it works out. So it's nice to see that Anchoremi actually thought to include that in her character design. Okay, but we have fun. The base figure is, of course, Amy Rose, so let's get to modifying it. So, of course, the first step is roundifying Amy's head. This happens by taking the back off. This one left quite a bit more glue scarring than usual, but it's fine because it'll all be covered up. And Anchoremi is a type of character that has stuff on both the front and back of her head, so that means working on it in two ways. First, modifying her ears and bangs, and once that has a chance to harden, doing the back of her hair so that she, you know, has the cute little Farrah Fawcett flippy hair thing going on. I say Farrah Fawcett because that's what my mom said. I'm not really that familiar with characters from Charlie's Angels. But yes, that is the head of Anchoremi. And I am pretty proud of the way the hair came out. It's nice and symmetrical and it looks pretty cool from two angles. And of course it's all painted up. A little bit of a darker brown on the inside of the ears, but mostly she has this very sandy peach colored fur tone. Now the legs are the only part of the figure that's not from Amy Rose. They are from a Supersonic figure. Of course I cut the sock cuff off and sculpted them up, giving that cankle look, hardy har. And she wears flats with pretty big squared off toes. It's a unusual shoe design. I thought that usually ladies discourage wearing shoes that look like this because it makes their feet look big. But I guess Summer is just confident in her shoe size and doesn't feel the need to hide it. Okay, so cut off the little ring cuffs on the arms and do the same treatment for the wrist cankles or whatever you call it. And I used the tails bang as a base for the tail when I sculpted it over so that it could be attached to the rear of the Amy torso after cutting off the dress. But here you see the torso is all painted, but let's go back a step because there's something pretty unique about this figure that I think you guys will get a kick out of. Okay, so take a look at this. It's the rubber part from an earbud. I reached inside and pulled out the part that holds it onto the mechanical portion and found that it makes a pretty nice little tube dress that perfectly fits over Amy's torso, once you cut off her tube skirt, of course. And this is pretty cool because with a few snips to cut the back out to create a nice little backless dress look, you get this cool little outfit that's made out of a nice flexible material that doesn't interfere with the movements of the legs or any parts of the body. That's a pretty useful little trick for making little elegant clothing elements for characters this tiny. Last time I did this technique was when I made the skirt for Sonico last year, but in that case I completely cut off the part that connected the rubber to the mechanical part of the earbud so that I could attach it to the seam in Way's torso. But you know, since Amy doesn't have such a seam, it can just go on as one piece. But even if there was a waist joint, as long as the figure was this height, this could totally work. It's a nice little way to make simple little clothing elements for characters this size. And I just thought that I'd share it because that is what my channel is all about, showing people how to make custom toys. And yeah, now we have a whole earbud thing going on. So here is the completed Summer figure. Isn't she just so cute with her little black dress? She's just adorable. I want to hug her so much. Yeah, this was a relatively simple figure. Aside from certain elements, it's not like I had to go all out on the crazy sculpting or put a super complex color scheme on her. She's just a very basic, adorable little kitty cat. And yeah, I like how her bang comes down in such a way that it covers one of her eyes when you look at it from the front, but her eyes aren't actually covered. It's just the way her hair flows. And I don't know. I kind of like the posability of the figure. I mean, I think it's because her feet are all big and square now. She's actually able to stand a lot easier than a lot of other Sonic figures are, which is always convenient, and you can pose her in all sorts of neat ways. Okay, so this has been Wake Angel 2001 presenting you with another custom toy. Let's see if I can manage to squeeze one more up before the month ends, and I will catch you all next time.